is a waterfall of windmills and rockets and empty baskets. In my heart is a waterfall, bleeding pine trees and lit up windows and poison arrows. In my heart is a waterfall of silver linings and dirty laundry and bedtime hate. In my
Hello, how are you? I am still filled with rage from earlier this afternoon. You're so welcome. So I went out today, peopled, if you will. I went out and, I went to the bookstore and got a sketchbook because, why not? I went to Michael's and that was very nice. And then I went to the fresh market and it went the fuck downhill. So it started out with, as I was walking in, a woman came up and she had 3 kids with her. And she had another woman not far away that was also with her that had like 4 or 5 more kids with her. So the woman, she's brown. She's obviously not from here. She doesn't speak a whole lot of English. And she asked me if I can buy her some food. She didn't ask for money. She didn't ask for, any other ridiculous thing that people want to think people are scamming about. She asked for food. And, I remember needing help to feed my kids. And I remember only having, Christian food centers to go to and being shamed because I was a single mom with no education and, a minimum wage job. So I'm not in that situation anymore, and I could afford to help her, so I did. And that is not the bad part of the story. No. We get in there, and I am following along behind this woman. She's grabbing food, and the worst part, she told me that the food was to take home and cook. Like it would be like it would be bad to get ready-made food. And so we're in there and we're getting her food, right? And this white man who works there, he obviously works either in the deli or the meat department because he's wearing a hairnet and attempting to wear a beard net, but like the corner of the beard net starts here and the rest of it goes up the side, one side of his face, leaving an entire side of his beard completely uncovered. So when he walks up to get in between the two of us, I am already unimpressed. And to be fair, I was kind of slouching. My back was hurting and I just, I didn't want to be intimidating to this woman. I was wearing heels, but that's because heels help my ankles, honestly. So this man comes up and he gets real close to me and he says, "Did she ask you for money?" And every rage circuit in my body lit up. And I stood up to my full height, looked down on this little man, and told him, no, she asked me for food. And at that point, he decided to go away. That, maybe attempting to dissuade me would be not his best moment. And he's right, because I was fully prepared to yell at this man in the middle of Fresh Market. So she and I, we go through, we get her food, and we go and we check out. I pay for her food. I wish her well. And, her and the other lady who was also checking out, they get out of there and they beat feet. They go home, because that's what they were there for. They needed food for, all these kids. So I get a buggy and I go back in and I start getting my food. I see this guy throughout the store numerous other times, and like every time I see him, I am just more mad that he is still breathing, to be honest. So, and also I want to make note, there was, as I was talking to the woman outside before we got her groceries, a black woman came up. She gave her, just a few dollars. She was like, listen, I don't have much, but here you go. And another woman gave the other woman something. I didn't know what it was at the time, but you'll find out at the end of the, towards the end. So I get my food and I go back through the checkout line, and it's a different person in the checkout. And this is it's another black woman. Both of them that were working checkout were black women, but it was a different black woman that I was at the checkout with this time. And, I kind of looked around and there wasn't anybody around to listen to us. So I leaned in and I asked her, I was like, are all the white men here that work here, like, always so upset about people asking for food? And she made me repeat it. I don't know if it was because she was like, did you really say that? Or because she didn't quite hear me. Because I know I do talk kind of quietly. But I repeated it and she kind of chuckled. And she's like, yeah, they always like that. They always like that here. And she told me that the other woman that had checked out had gone through her line, and that she had been given a $20 Fresh Market gift card, and she went $5 over. And so the cashier, the woman that I'm talking to, paid the $5 out of her own money, because she saw the same thing I did. A woman with a bunch of kids that needs some help. And that man had the nerve and the audacity to yell at this woman. He scolded her for using her money. Her money that she earned working at the same flippin' place he does. Scolded her for using her money to help another woman. And told her that those women were scamming people. And the only thing I have to say to that is I don't care. If there are women out there scamming people for food, I will be scammed anytime I can afford it. And today I could afford it. So, but I don't think she was scamming people. I think they needed food for those babies. And they were really just trying to get help. And I love that I was not the only woman there helping. And I just gotta say, like, this is part of how we make the world better. We help other women. And we tell the men in our lives to do the fuck better, and that they need to be calling out these behaviors. Because how dare you tell any woman what to do with her money? And how dare you tell a woman not to help another woman? Ooh, ooh. I am still so mad at him. Like, I had to leave because the more I thought about it, the more I wanted to go in and cause a scene. But that's where I get my coffee, and I need to not cause a scene there. So, yeah. And it's not like I didn't express to him exactly how I felt about it, enough so that he decided not to talk to me about it. And but, oh, men need to do better. Because how do you see a couple of women with a bunch of kids and not think that in this day and age, in this economy, that they aren't struggling? I mean, or that for some reason they aren't deserving of help because they're poor and have children. This is why we need to choose the bear. I mean, unless we can take the man out, then that's a fair thing. All right, let me get to the comments now. Sorry, I just needed to pull that out because I am, like, I've talked about it a few times today, and I'm still just so mad. Sitting beside Linda in the back row. Linda, we can talk baseball. Slinking in quietly to the back row. Sitting beside Louise in the back row. I love how these comments are all in order. It's so fun. Made it just in time. Literally just came in here when the intro came on. Love it. Oh, thank you. A different song in my head other than Justin Timberlake singing things about May. Epic month, though. Happy start of. Yes. So, oh, I'm so sorry. Doing my artist date and dumping some words. Yes. Oh, I love it. Going to alternate between the two during sprints. Fantastic. Yeah, me too. Hello, unknown vagrant. I hope you are well also. Go Kaz at Linda Hill. Sir, mind your business. Proof that men have a lot to learn from women still. Whether they were or not, still mind your business, sir. Agreed. So, yeah. This is the sketch pad I got. It's so pretty. I happen to love this particular drawing, or painting rather. So, and it's, dual-sided. And this particular, the flip up style, it was on sale, and I actually paid nothing for it because I had enough rewards to cover the whole price. So I walked out of there without ever using my card. At least not for this. I used it for food. So yeah. And I got some more pencils. So yeah. This, if it's not your money, why do you care, my guy, right? Like, I told Marvin when I got out to the truck, and I called him because, like, I'm fucking fuming. And I called him and I told him, I was like, I just bought a bunch of groceries for some strange lady that needed help getting food. And he was like, okay, cool. And that's the correct response. Like Marvin fucks up a lot of shit. But stuff like this, he never ever has a problem with it when I call him and tell him, "Hey, I just gave somebody some money." You know, he actually kind of relies on me to be the one doing those things because he knows I am, you know, the type to want to do that, and he doesn't think about it. And also, he is a white man and he is not likely to get approached for it. So, he relies on me to do those sorts of things because he knows I will. And he fully supports it. It's one of the few things he does really right. It was on sale and I didn't have to pay for it too, so Oh, you have that one too? Ah! I love it. Yes. It is so cute. Kaz is great, Louise. Yes. Former teacher me kept my educator account at Michael's for a reason. No, Marvin didn't care. He was annoyed at the man. He fully understood that, and and he mentioned something um, that really didn't help my anger. Um, because but he said, he probably wouldn't have done that if I was there. And I don't think he's wrong. That guy probably wouldn't have done that if Marvin had been there. And this doesn't make me want to take Marvin places with me more. It makes me want to leave him home and finish bedazzling my bat and carry that with me. Because, yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right. So we're gonna end up going so late again. Um, so here we go. We're gonna go ahead and jump into our first sprint of the night, and I'm gonna do things. I don't know which things yet, but I'm gonna do things. All the magic, and I'll see you on the other side. How did you do? How did you do? I am doing the things. Essentially, I'm working on my presentation. So, yay. How did you do? What did you do? Let's see. Where was I? Continue the trend. Yes. Channel our rage into art. Yes. Exactly. At the same time, he is a good model for the grandkid in some regards, for sure. And heaven forbid anyone say anything like that with her in earshot around either grandparent. Exactly. Yes. He does really good with the kid. Did I forget about Twitch when I rushed in here? Why, yes, I did. That's fine. You remembered finally. It's great. So yeah. Monitored chats after I finally remembered Twitch. Excellent. Excellent work. So yeah, he does really good about helping to make sure the kid knows that, she doesn't have to put up with anybody's shit, even Papa's. A lot of times he just says random ridiculous stuff so that she knows it's okay to tell him, no, absolutely not. And if you can tell your papa no, you can tell any random man no. Hey, good job. Excellent work. I added words, switching gears. Yes. I also, I added some words to what I want in my presentation, and I am, doing a little bit of sketching, in between. So it's good things. Hello. So yeah, that's where I'm at with the whole thing. My daughter showed me a picture that my sister sent her of me. Me and my sister as much younger people. I can't show, I can show you. Let me get a piece of paper. Okay, there we go. Okay, so me. I didn't want to show you the sister because she doesn't belong on my channel. But yeah, apparently my sister has been collecting the pictures and just sends them to my daughter occasionally. It's weird, a little creepy. Yes, it is. It is. And, that is his intent behind, saying things that it are, just for instance, not an actual thing he said, but, well, let's shave your head if you don't want to brush your hair. That's not an actual, I don't think it's an actual thing he said. But, she has no problems with being like, no, Papa, or Papa, no, that kind of thing. And that is a really healthy thing, in my opinion. She's continually able to tell him no, or just go and walk away. Which, in my opinion, in a few ways, that may be better. I did some exercise and read my book. Yes. Love it. Love it. So yeah. We're all doing the good things. And here in another couple of seconds, we're going to jump into sprint number 2 and do more good things while I medicate my dog. Yeah, you're being ridiculous right now. Come talk to me when you can make sense. Exactly. Exactly. So, yeah. All right. Here we go. Sprint number 2. All the magic, and I will see you on the other side. How did you do? How did you do? Hello, Brecky. How are you? Brecky, Jenna. So, how did everybody do? I medicated the dog. I worked on information that I want to include, and I'm working on a sketch because I want to include different types of art. Currently, I'm trying to get both her eyes on the same plane because it doesn't always want to act right. 688 toward a work project that didn't get done. It'd be like that sometimes, right? So yeah. Oh, I almost forgot. So I found, hey, but you wrote 2 words. Maybe next time you write 10. Formatting. Love it. Yep, I had Rhiannon stereo for a minute because I was double checking to make sure that this was in fact only Sprint 2. Twitch doesn't let me figure it out using the progress bar at the bottom like YouTube does, right? Yes, indeed. Nothing wrong with that. 2 more than 30 minutes ago. Exactly. Got some more steps in and added a chapter to the plot grid. Yes! Love it. So, woo. With YouTube, I can drag my mouse across the red bar to see how many times I see the timer start. Yeah. And, or how many times you see me not in the little circle. So there's that. But, so Damon, I've been working with his vet about, other things that he might possibly eat. I told you guys about the failed snap pea experiment, or at least I think I did. If I didn't try to snap pea, he is not impressed. Wolfie thought it was great. Wolfie is like Mikey from the old cereal commercial. He eats everything. Which isn't always the greatest thing, but it works for veggies. So, the vet suggested a few things like green beans. I was like, well, that's not fucking happening. He is 100% trash panda. And so, she suggested cucumber. I've tried that before. I know he is not having it with the cucumber. And she suggested watermelon, and I thought, well, that might. Like, it's sweet, and she says that the spring grass is sweet, and that's why dogs want to eat it. He eats grass all year, so I don't know how true that is. But I thought, well, it's watermelon's sweet. I'll give it a shot. It's working. Like, he was not sure about it, but he saw Wolfie eat it, and he was like, all right, I'm going to give it a try. And like, he's down with it. He's down with the watermelon. And I also found a recipe online for, like little doggy treats, pumpkin puree, oat flour, and I used a couple of eggs for to make it stick to itself, but binder. So and he likes those too, and they're not terribly difficult to make. As it is, I have more of the dough saved in the refrigerator that I can just pop into the oven once I turn it into smaller cookie shaped pieces. But it's working. I am finding things that he can eat that won't be calorie dense or fat dense, and that will help save help stave off the hunger. So, that's a good thing. Lurking, slowly getting words on the page. Yes. And it did quench his thirst too, maybe. Yeah, at least a little bit. And if, right? Yes. Although the grandkid is super picky about any sort of food. So, the chance of her actually eating something just at random, slim to none. Slim to none. She is, I don't know if she's higher on the autism scale than I am, or if we're at the same level and I just was forced to learn other ways of being. Because she reminds me of me a lot. A lot, a lot. It is. It is. And like nobody's nobody's giving that child candy. No strangers are giving her candy. That is for sure. Um, all right. So let's get into sprint number 3, all the magic, and I'll see you on the other side. How did you do? How did you do? I got a little stuck on the sketching. Um, so that was kind of all I did that time. So what did you do? How did you do? I think I'm going to work on the information portion of things for a hot minute. Just to kind of balance things out. And besides, I need to get it done within the next fewish days. So there's that. See, I was informed the other day that my niece, who has loved broccoli her entire life and would get pissed if you dared give her any other veggie, has now decided she doesn't like it. Sounds right. Although I used to be the same with my baby food if it didn't contain carrots. I was like, no. I actually ate so many carrots I started to turn orange. That's fantastic. See, got myself some tea and watched the end of the game. No words, but we won. Congratulations. 440. I'm tired and I don't want to do this anymore. Was that an actual I'm tired, or I just need to whine a little bit? I'm tired, because like both are valid. But you know, they require different ways of responding. Finish the plot grid and realize the problem with this book, so I have to write another chapter or two. Oops, new genre, new flow. But you realize the problem. That's excellent. Love that. Especially, you know, you're working on both. I feel that. Yeah. My mom took me to the doctor. He said, well, what baby food is she eating? My mom said, well, she eats carrots with every single meal. And he said, well, that's it, because I can't find anything else wrong with her. Yeah, I mean, if you're turning orange, unless your liver is failing, it probably is you're eating something with too much beta carotene. So there's that. So yeah, I'm also going to include the word Marianismo, sorry, in my presentation. So yeah, y'all, I am catching up on a romantasy series that I'd gotten behind on, and it is unhinged and also taking up a lot of brain space. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think that's what she was worried about because of my other disabilities, but he said, no, it's just her carrot intake. It's not dangerous. She's perfectly fine. Yeah, it's not dangerous. She's just orange. But yeah, liver issues would be the first thing you look at if your child starts to look a bit like a pumpkin. Reminds me, I need to plant some pumpkin. About to add more words. Yes, love it. Add the words. My boy is over here wiggling around trying to find the perfect comfy spot for himself. Fun fact, I don't really like carrots much now. I'll eat them, but I don't prefer it. Yeah. Have y'all tried, or do any of you listen to audiobooks? Like audiobooks that you pretty well know the story. Do you listen to them while you're going to sleep? Does anybody else do that? I'm doing that, is why I ask. I'm just curious if anyone else does that. Currently, I'm listening to Jane Eyre. But to some extent, I think that particular book choice may be a little bit of a mistake, just because like there's parts of it that kind of piss me off. Not about the book itself, but just the storyline and things that happen. Like, they're not bad things, but let's see. I do. It's so comforting. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I used to. I went to white noise because too many alpha waves showing up in sleep studies for me. Ah. I might try. I just saw that book listening as a thing to try. Yeah. I started doing it from the Calm app, but like they only give you like a half hour worth of chapters, and you don't, you can't go back the next night and hear the rest of the book, and it was kind of pissing me off. Because like there's some really great stories in there, but I can't read the rest of the book. And like just listening to a couple of chapters every night is great for me. I'm good with it. But I want to hear the whole book. So I moved to, listening to stuff on my, my audiobooks, and I'm digging it. I might try. I just saw that book listening as a thing to try. Well, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but, and like, I don't have this experience myself, but I know a lot of people that do. A lot of times when we're children, people read us to sleep. I did that for my kids, and it wasn't an experience I had. Nobody read me to sleep except me. But I know it's not an abnormal experience for people to be reading their kids to sleep, and I figure, um, we're just adult versions of those same kids. Like maybe we need better, more age appropriate books, but couldn't hurt. Um, I tried to listen to Sarah read one of her books I previously listened to, but I ended up staying awake, so I went back to ASMR. Yeah, I get that. I tried audiobooks, but no thank you. It gives me a headache. Yeah, I see. Oh, but podcasts are okay. So it's the content. Yeah, my dad used to do that every night. Yeah. My mom would rent the Disney books on tape and have my brother do his magic with them before they would go back to the library. That does make sense. Um, but yeah, I have to do books. Yes, yes. That's what I'm. You know, it has to be preferably fiction. I tried listening to one of Jung's books as I was going to sleep once. The dreams, man, the dreams. Um, so I'm listening to things like Jane Eyre, like Pride and Prejudice, things that I know where it's going, but I still want to hear the rest of it, and I can drift off and be okay with it. Um, all right, so let's get into our fourth and final sprint of the evening. All the magic, and I'll see you on the other side. How did you do? How did you do? Oh, perfect. Let's see. Brecky crashed, so called it a night. And she hopes to catch us the next live stream. I did work on my presentation, and I have a video playing about lymphatic drainage. Well, relaxing is good, and I feel like sometimes we don't do it enough. You know, we don't take care of the way that we need to give ourselves space to just be and to relax. And yeah, so good job on the relaxing. I watched chats, love that. 161 words. Yes, you got some words. Congratulations, Linda. I know it's a struggle for you right now, so you're doing excellent. I am going to be putting a picture of the Sistine Chapel into my what you call it, presentation. Doing edits on a chapter of my next release. Yes, love that. My boy is sleeping deep. And he's so stinking cute. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you all for being here. I believe tomorrow is Double Down Day. So, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, tomorrow is Double Down Day. So I will not actually be sprinting because, there's going to be sprints all flipping day. Or at least I assume there will be. And I think Sarah's sprinting at some point. So I haven't checked the calendar or anything. There's sprints starting at 5 a.m. No, thank you. Rock on. Thanks for the sprints. Absolutely. I didn't count words tonight, but you made progress. Yes. Yes, she is. Though I can't remember when. Though I can. Nah, no need. If anybody's curious, they can find the calendar and all that good stuff. But that is why I will not be sprinting tomorrow night. I'm gonna chill out. I'm probably gonna attend a sprint or two, and yeah. So, thank you all for being here. I will not see you tomorrow night, unless I see you in a chat. And Sarah is apparently sprinting at 7 p.m. So, thank you again, and may you all wake rested, refreshed, and ready to kick the crap out of your day. Good night.
In my heart is a waterfall.